would you do if you run completely out of cash? What would you do if you wanna cut a dash? Polish up the shoes, throw on something fine. We don't talk about diesels, I'm running on style this time. Cruising down the boulevard, wheels gleam in the night. Beige leather interior, looking chic alright. Money's a little tight, but I'm feeling brand new. Living large tonight, no budget reviews. Blues! What do you mean I'm not getting paid for this?
So viewers, it's been a long time since we've done a Mark II Ford Focus on the channel. And what a treat we have today. A Mark II Ford Focus Saloon from 2006. These were only sold from 2005 to 2009, actually January 2009. The facelifted ones were sold for just a year, and they are extremely rare. Only sold in titanium trim, only with the 1.6 and 2 litre petrol engines that we can talk about. Obviously there are some others we can't. So this is an absolute delight to see. I'm very grateful to Ali, who's bought this car all the way down from London down to here in Portsmouth for me to film today. And it has unfortunately got some dirt on it from having been down the motorway. That's just the way that it goes really sometimes. But when was the last time you saw a Mark II Focus Saloon? These were only available in Ghia and titanium trim. After the facelift, the Ghia trim was dropped, so titanium only. I think we'll look in the boot first of all, because that's the main thing that crash into a twig. Typical, isn't it? So yeah, this is the main thing that separates these apart. Parking sensors on this one. I can't remember if they're an option or not actually on the Ghia. The boot is huge on these. It's 523 litres. It kind of reminds me of my Volvo S40, but again, the S40 Mark II, and my S40 is the same year as this car. It's also a 06 plate. They're based on the same chassis. Underneath they're the same car, although the S40 platform's slightly lengthened. But you could lose yourself in here. If you are Mr. Richardson for the Furious Driving channel, and you want to carry bodies in the boot, then you can. Just find the carpet. Here, okay, pull that up. And yes, a space saver spare as well. This just gets better and better, viewers. Big load space, parking sensors, gear badges. What more do you need in life? One thing we can do with this car, which is quite handy, we don't even have to fiddle around for the bonnet release, because it's actually at the front. We just put the key in like this, which I always find a bit weird, but there we go. Right, see if I can do this with one hand. No, I'm going to have to use two hands. Hold on a second, viewers. Right, viewers, after being attacked by a hedge and defeated by a bonnet release, we're finally looking underneath the bonnet of this particular Focus. This is the 1.6 Zetec SE engine, or Sigma engine, or Duratec engine. They're all the same thing. That was introduced in 1995 with the Mark IV Ford Fiesta. This particular one is quite a rare variant. It's the Ti-VCT variant with 113 horsepower. This was only available in the Focus Saloon with a manual gearbox. It wasn't available with the automatic. The automatic ones got the 98 brake horsepower version of the engine, and I'm looking forward to having a go in this and seeing if the Volvo makes any difference. I've driven a lot of cars with the 98 brake horsepower version, including recently Volvo C30. There are a couple of issues with these engines. One of them is the thermostat housings can go on them. This coolant reservoir has also been replaced. So you can get coolant leaks on these. You also do need to change the cam belt on these relatively regularly. I think it's about 100,000 miles on these. I would probably stick to 80 if it were me. Cam belts on this side. But actually, if you look after them, they're generally pretty good. I think you can get problems with the core plugs as well, but that's generally because you haven't changed the coolant on the engine. So just make sure you change the coolant regularly. Obviously, you can see this is nice and sort of bright and pink. But yeah, not much else to say really. A very well-known commodity. You can also get a 2-litre Mazda engine in these, called the L engine with 143 horsepower. Right, I suppose you'd better take a look inside as well whilst we're here. So let's get in the back. One of the things I like about Mark II Focus in general, obviously you can get a CC Coupe Cabriolet version, but a 3-door hatch, a 5-door hatch and a state, in addition to a saloon version, is the quality of the interior. For a car of this type, it's actually quite good. Let's close this door, it's very cold today. So we've got a little ashtray down here. Got door pockets, the trim's very nice. I mean, I prefer a leather interior. I can't remember if you get a beige leather interior on these or not. This is just a sort of fabric one. We do have little bits of wood in here though, so I feel better about that. We've got an armrest in the middle. Oh, with cup holders as well. That's nice. What happens if I pull this? Ooh, place for putting things in. Excellent views. I mean, it's all shaping up to be quite an agreeable car, particularly for, you know, you can buy these for no budget reviews money if they're not in tip-top condition. Electric rear windows. The door handle feels sort of okay. It's very comfortable in here actually. There's plenty of headroom. Legroom is not the best at the moment. The seat needs moving forward a little bit. But yes, it's generally very nice. You can actually hear as well that they've kind of worked on the sort of door seals and things like that to make them just a little bit better, because it's very quiet in here and it is sort of windy outside, so that's quite impressive really. Okay, let's get in the front. So here we go viewers, automatic light, excellent. A nice comfortable driver's seat. This car has done just over 100,000 miles, and we've got the more basic stereo in here. We've not really got much going on. If it were me, I'd be very tempted to either upgrade that or change it for like an aftermarket one or something, because obviously we haven't got Bluetooth or anything like that, but you wouldn't expect it on a car from 2006, would you, anyway? So air conditioning, of course, heated front windscreen was a Ford exclusive feature until I think about 2011 or something. Someone, I'm sure in the comment section below, will correct me about that. Electric windows, electric mirrors. I think we've got cruise control in here. It's very agreeable. The only thing I need is a beige leather interior. We've got parking sensor, we've got cruise control, we've got wood. I just need a beige leather interior and the world will be fine. One thing that's annoying about this car is the handbrakes on the left-hand side, which for right-hand drive market isn't really ideal. And we've got this. Can you actually separate the armrest from... Oh, yes, we can. So we can put a little USB thing in here, whatever it is you need. The only thing I'm being told actually about this is that this is supposed to open at the top, but it's broken, which I gather is common on the Mark II Focuses, or Foci, if I remember my GCSE science. The dash is actually really nice. It's soft touch on this. You've got bits of wood in the middle. The doors was also got some sort of soft touch material on there. Just pull that a little bit further, and that's to the alarm, I think, on there. Again, the sound deadening on this car, sort of shielding you from the elements, is quite good. Yeah. The only thing I'm curious about, and I'm going to test this out, is whether or not I can get my secret mission documents actually in the glove box. We'll look at that in a second, but yeah, stalks are good. The only thing is, what would be there on like a high spec version? I mean, this is almost the highest specification. I think the titanium was even higher than this actually when they sold the two together. But what would be in the middle of there? You could probably get sat nav on these, couldn't you? And so maybe it's something to do with that, but I don't know. Right, let's get the secret mission documents and see if they pass the test. Right, viewers. Yes! This car just gets better and better, viewers. One thing I'm annoyed about in my Volvo S40, which of course is very similar to this, is the door pockets. This is nice big door pockets. I'm just trying to think if anything at all is shared in the interior of the S40 in comparison with this. I don't think it is. I think they're completely different, which is very strange. Right, I think it's time to go out for a drive, viewers, actually. We'll see how this car performs on the road. So unlike on the hatchback Focuses or Foci, the choice of engines in this country for the Saloon was quite limited. The bottom of the range was the Zetec SE 1.6 with 98 horsepower. It was available with both manual and automatic gearboxes. Above that is this 1.6 Zetec SE with the Ti-VCT system, 113 horsepower. So about 15 more horsepower, entirely due to this variable valve time or variable camshaft system, I think it is. The most powerful one of all was a 2-litre Mazda L engine, 143 horsepower, again available with manual and automatic gearboxes. There are also some diesels available, but as usual, due to controversial government legislation and all kinds of other reasons, we don't talk about diesels on this channel. So viewers, what's this Mark II Focus Ghia Saloon like to drive? Well, it's quite pleasant really. The gearbox is nice and slick, typical Ford. I think it's called IB5 gearbox at this time. Personally, I would go for the manual if I was going to buy one of these, regardless of whether it's a titanium or a Ghia. There are only 2 trims available for this car. When a facelift occurred for the Focus in January 2008, the titanium was the only trim left. So Mark II Focus Ghia Saloon facelift, only available in titanium trim, is one of the absolute rarest cars you can imagine. Crazy, crazy rare. I don't think I've ever seen a facelift of one of these. I've seen a few pre-facelifts like this one. I've not seen facelift ones. And so I was delighted when Ali said he's going to bring it down for me today, because it meant I could finally have a go in one of these. And I'm not disappointed in this whatsoever. It's an absolute delight. The engine's pulling really well. Gearbox is nice. Steering is really good. One thing I don't like about my Volvo S40, which is the same age as this car and is very similar underneath, is the steering. The steering was engineered to the American market in S40, obviously an important market in Volvo, and the feel was sort of removed. It with this turned the boost pressure up really, really high, so it doesn't have the same steering feel as this. You can immediately feel the difference in the steering with this, and it is much, much better. I only wish they'd put this Ti-VCT version of the 1.6 into the S40. They only have the standard one. Not only does it give you kind of 15 more horsepower, it also means you get a bit more torque. So it feels really good actually, this. Just a shame that actually we aren't near any sort of country roads to be able to really exploit the nimble chassis that these cars have. It's also very strange that they didn't sell this Mark II Focus in America. They had a version of the Mark I that continued till 2011 when it was replaced by the Mark III. So it was only for sort of Europe and some other parts of the world. I can hear the distinctive sound of the Zetec SE engine here, and it's really good. This car is absolutely delightful. I gather Ali want to sell this actually, so that's going to be interesting for him, I think. Find somebody who has very specific tastes. I mean, it's a very specific type of car. This they knew who was going to buy a Focus Saloon for the Mark IIs, and so they only made it so that it would appeal to a certain type of person who was, let's say, a more traditional sort of buyer than the rest of them. We haven't got the crazy ST or RS versions of the Saloon. Although someone making a Saloon ST would be sort of fun with the 5-cylinder white block Volvo engine. But you know, somebody who's a bit more mature, who appreciates the finer things of life, would be your typical Mark II Focus Saloon buyer. And I feel like I'm one of those sort of people today, appreciating the, you know, fine handling and good ride of this car, but also the extra equipment and the large boot and the more sort of traditional appearance of this. Yes, viewers, I would like one of these, but it would have to be with a beige leather interior. The only problem might be stopping you buying one of these, apart from actually finding a Saloon, is the rust. And the rust on these, for some reason, I don't know why, is particularly bad, particularly the chassis. You see these sometimes as well with, you know, arches that go rusty and things like that as well. Just be very careful of that. Other than that, these aren't actually too bad. The cam belt needs doing, as I said. The Mazda's actually Mazda engine is a chain engine, so that's something to not to worry too much about it. But yes, I am really rather impressed. So, viewers, should you consider a Mark II Ford Focus Saloon for your hard-earned budget up to £1,000? Well, the thing is, if you're spending that sort of money, you can probably find a few of these, but they're not necessarily going to be in the best condition. You might have problems with rust, you might have one that's got a cam belt that's overdue, you might even have one that, you know, has a short MOT or something like that. I'd advise you maybe spend a bit more, maybe £2,000 or £3,000, and just get a better one. You might even find that mythical facelifted titanium 2-litre with a manual gearbox, and that would be the ultimate Ford Focus Saloon. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video and comment below, and we shall see you again very soon for some more inexpensive motoring.